So what are we going to focus on looking at today? We're going to look at that holistic set of skills, the technical skills it takes to really stand in our power as marketeers and think about how we set and lead that long-term commercial agenda and really take the reins of what I believe marketing should be doing today, which is leading that commercial agenda. The next is the soft skills in order to bring and lead the people in the cross-functional business with us on that journey, not only just within our team, but all of our stakeholders and other functions in that business so we can truly lead, and also working collaboratively in order to bring those plans to life. Because as I always say, strategy is one thing, but bringing it to life is a whole different other ball game. Also look at the leadership skills to build the type of leader we want to be, but also that our marketing teams and business need us to be, so that we can motivate and empower the marketers in our care and stakeholders in our plans and in our journeys, but we're doing so in a way that feels authentic and inspirational and reflective of who we are as a human being. And the last, but by no means least, is the personal understanding, because fulfillment for me lies in having that clarity around where you are going, your goals, your values, and doing something each day that plays to those. We can't do something each day that plays to our values if we don't know what they are. And for that is the area of personal understanding. And for us as a marketing leader, it's for us to ensure that all of the individuals in our team feel fulfilled in their roles, but not just in their job, in their lives as a whole. Because for me, work and life need to be working in harmony in order for us to be feeling motivated and fulfilled. So my hope for the next 25, 30 minutes is to stir the particles within you, to allow you to reflect on where you are with your role as a marketer, where you are with your role as a leader, and where you are with your journey and your understanding around your soft skills, your leadership skills, but also you as an individual and your personal understanding. Before I start to stir those particles, what do I mean by whole? I mean a marketeer that is complete. Somebody that not only possesses those technical skills, but also is thinking about their development and their progress as their own careers holistically. They are also thinking about the technical skills that are going to allow them to lead the commercial agenda, but also focusing maybe on some specialist skills that allow them to do the job that they want to do and that they are currently doing. That they are rounded, they have the strategic thinking as well as the tactical thinking, and that they're really thinking about their careers and themselves holistically. A whole marketeer is one that concerns themselves with the what we need to do, the how we need to do it to drive that impact, to gain that alignment with the wider stakeholders, but also that is motivated to do so because they are clear on why they are doing what they're doing and why they get out of bed every morning. So in summary, the technical skills, the soft and leadership skills, the personal understanding, the what, the how, and the why. So let's just talk about the technical skills for a second. I'm hoping through this whole marketeer concept that we are going to be building passionate marketeers, those that are possessing the technical skills to lead the commercial and understanding and the agenda of the organization, but also to be at the forefront of the industry. And that means we need to constantly evolve. We need to embrace the fact that our profession is a challenging profession, yet rewarding profession. But it's exciting because it's one that doesn't stand still. We are constantly evolving in our understanding of consumers and how they make their decisions, the ways in which we can engage with them, the technology that we can enhance, and our changing roles. And for me, someone who is leading the commercial agenda is able to do the following things. The first thing is, are you able to set that long-term commercial agenda? The vision, the goals, where we're going, the growth, how we're going to get there, the commercial targets. Are you building that strategy, having clarity around really understanding and identifying and anticipating and satisfying the wants and your needs of your consumers and your customers profitably? That is a definition of marketing, and it has not changed since I entered the profession some 22 years ago. We want to move from being the support function to sales or to production or to product development or innovation or R&D to be the one that is setting the long-term agenda. And in order to do that, that means we are going to have to adopt new roles, enhance our skills, and really step change our development. We are evolving, but who better placed than marketeers to be the change makers? Who better placed to embrace that change, take the reins, and really embrace the fact that a true marketeer's role today is both part scientist, that understanding about how consumers make decisions and the science behind what works in behavioral science, is also part politician, because not only do we have to set the agenda, we also have to make sure that everybody is aligned and on the journey with us, but also part artist, someone who can dream the dream, dream big, and bring that to life using all of the tools in our toolkit or in our artist box. So those technical skills are about setting that long-term vision, the mission, the goals, those commercial goals, as well as the goals that we want in perception and experience for our consumers and our customers to be getting the benefit from. The next is to be able to lead that commercial agenda, and that means that we have to be able to own that profit and loss account. And it starts with gaining awareness, understanding each line, the impact that our marketing can have, and the activities that we're bringing to market deliver. It's about delivering experiences in a true omni-channel way, not only understanding who our consumer and our customers are, but understanding the steps they go through on their journey and tailoring our messages, utilizing our insight and building insight to be able to not only communicate in an omni-channel way, but a true omni-channel experience. The next is to take ownership of the insight, work closely with our insight functions, but also have the skill set that means that we can not and insight, but create and develop our own insight by ensuring that we're collecting all of the data and touch points that are available to us, that we have a holistic view of what our consumers and customers' needs are and what is happening in our marketplace, but more importantly, making it actionable insight. Taking what you've learned into presenting in a storytelling way back into the business that shows us not only what insight is, but what you're suggesting that we do with it. The what, the so what, and the now what that is living and breathing through the whole organization. The next is to be that true voice of the consumer and customer in every meeting, in every forum that we are, because we hold the insights into who they are and what they need, so we can satisfy that, but to also make sure that we are talking the board's language and that we are delivering effective commercial growth that has a true ROI at the heart of it, whilst keeping abreast. And as I said earlier, our marketing profession is ever evolving. So understanding at least whether you want to bring it into your personal practice or even into your organization, what programmatic, agile, system 1, system 2, tribe targeting, AI marketing, anything that is new in a concept so that you at least understand and can keep abreast. In order to build our soft skills, we need to be able to think about how we can build that deep-rooted emotional connection with our customers and consumers. And I'll talk about the skills and behaviors I see in great marketeers that are able to do that. And also the skills and behaviors that I see in those that are able to take that strategy and motivate the business to bring it to life. So the soft skills to be a visionary, and particularly important for those in leadership positions, those that are able to dream big, but are able to inspire their teams and their business around what that will look like so they can feel that vision palpably. The next is to take ownership, to put our hands up, to be accountable, to move things forward, different work streams forward, to really start moving that dial. The next is about the way in which we work with each other and thinking about being human, bringing our authentic selves to work, but also using that as a way by building vulnerability and connection with our peers and with those in the cross-functional teams. The next is being entrepreneurial, the ability to see an opportunity but act with pace and bravery to go after it, and the conviction to make it happen. And the resilience in our ever-changing and challenging industry as things change, the ability to move quickly through that change curve and really have the strength to come back with us. So what are we going to do next to make it happen? The next is we're thinking about what are those skills that I see in those marketers that are really able to build that deep-rooted emotional connection with their consumers. And those are the ones that have the curiosity, ones that are trying to understand humans, what they're doing, watching people on the bus stop, watching people in the coffee shop. Not only what they're doing, but why are they doing that? And I always say you can only help others to the extent in which you know yourself. So if you don't understand your own personal drivers, motivators, wants and needs, it's going to make it a lot more difficult for you to connect and build empathy with those consumers and customers that you are building solutions for. The next is to have an empathy, not only for those in your care or those that you're working with, but also with your consumers and your customers also. Empathy means thinking about what it would be like for them, for your consumers in their shoes, not what it's like for you in their shoes, and having that real ability to remove your own personal, as I call, straw poll of one, thoughts and feelings, but actually what it is for your consumer and your customer, as they are two very different things, and removing our biases as much as we can. The next is the creativity, to think about the ideas and solutions. This is not limited to just creative departments. It's also about thinking about work streams, product solutions, ways in which we game, experiences we build that move things along and enhance our customer experience. And the last, but by no means least, is being the voice. It's speaking up in every meeting, in every forum, saying, is this what our consumers would want? Is this what our consumers have said they need? To make sure that voice is in every forum. So when we talk about the technical and soft skills, I think all of us need to possess those, but as do the marketeers in our care. So when you are thinking about developing marketeers, really do think about, am I developing holistic marketeers that have those technical skills, but am I also developing marketeers that have that how, that really thinking about those soft skills, that empathy, that curiosity to move things forward. Now I'm going to talk about the leadership skills and the leadership behaviors to stand in your power. Stand in your power as a marketeer, understand and believe in the beauty of our profession and the ambition of what we can do. Motivate and support and provide clarity to the marketeers in your care and to the stakeholders in your business, but also to lead a high-performing, motivated team on a day-to-day basis and having the right foundations in place so that they can be motivated. The first step of thinking about you as a leader is to define who you want to be as a leader. Defining your leadership style, thinking about how you want to show up daily, what's that legacy that you want to leave behind, what do you want to be known for? What are those principles that you're going to bring into the culture and the way in which that you motivate and inspire the marketeers in your care? Are you building a leadership style that's actually authentic and honest about who you are? I think we often arrive in leadership positions only having experienced the leader that's come before us, and whether that was a negative or a positive experience, sometimes we feel pressure to perhaps behave in a way that has simulated something we've experienced before, or maybe a way in which we think the business wants us to behave. And the happy zone, should I say, is when you are building a leadership style that is authentic to you, but is also allowing you to build a leadership style that allows you to lead in the business that you are in. And really thinking about, what does your team need you to be, but how can I do that in a way that feels authentic and true to you? The next is to provide them with that leadership clarity and support and empowerment. So if you don't have the clarity on what the vision is for that wider business, and I often find that the larger the business, the harder it is to really get an understanding of what that vision and clarity is for the business as a whole, but what that means for you and your team. What is the role that you want marketing to play in your team, and why is that the role you want them to play in order to deliver those commercial goals for your function and for your business? The next is to think about, well, what are those goals that we need to deliver in order to make that a success and make that a reality? What is it we are going to do as a marketing division or team? What are those goals? Whether that's to increase your consumer understanding, whether that's to be the go-to department that people come to in order to get the insights, whatever that may be, to make that cultural shift, having the clarity for not only your team, but also them as individuals. A great way to provide clarity is to really think about, what are those competencies or capability framework that I want my marketeers to possess? And not just those technical skills that I mentioned at the beginning, but also the how that they bring that to life and the way in which they do that through their soft skills and their leadership skills. Are you building an infrastructure that allows that goal and vision for your team to come to life, but also have you got the clarity of what that means for individuals? So having built that competency and capability framework, have you built that into individuals' job descriptions? Have they got the clarity on the role that they are playing and what that's commercially going to deliver to ladder up into that wider goal? Have you also thought about the development of not only your team and the skill set that they're going to need to be able to possess, but also what that means for individuals? Are you clear on what each individual within your team or within your care needs to be able to wants to have in their role, whether that's aligned to their values, aligned to their purpose, whether that's aligned for the life that they want to live as a whole or their own career ambitions? Often we make decisions for the marketeers in our care on their next development step without truly understanding what their values are and assigning work and projects towards those that allow them to feel fulfilled, without actually knowing and asking the question what they want to do next and where they want to go. And it's not always a progression move. It could be to do something they enjoy more. It could be something else in a different division. It could be something entirely different. Making sure that we're asking those questions and having that clarity on what motivates them on that deep level. So you are giving them work streams that play to their values, but allow them to leverage their strengths, also allow them to grow in the development areas that they want to be part of towards the goals, their own career goals that are personal to them, and how that all builds into building your team. So a question I want to pose to you, now having described what it is that we want to know about the individuals in your care, my question to you is, how well do you think you know each of the marketeers in your care? Are you able to help them build a personal understanding of not only your drivers and values, but what their values, drivers, and goals are? And by building your own personal understanding and helping them to do that, we can understand what lights us all up as individuals in the team, but also allow them and be partnering with them to be working towards our goals, because that's where fulfillment lies. The next is, are we really making sure that we are building development in their PDPs and their plans that is aligned to their strengths, their values, but also their personal and professional goals? Have we given them the clarity of expectations about where we're going and what success looks like, but also what that means to them as individuals? Are we building a culture in our team as a whole that really not only reflects our personal leadership style, but also the cultural shifts or changes that need to happen in order for the team to feel motivated and empowered? Are we empowering the individuals in our care to take risks, to be entrepreneurial, to be able to act with pace? Or are we putting processes in place that are preventing that and preventing their own growth? What development work streams do we have in place? Whether that's formal training, informal training, book clubs, external speakers, inspiration talks, events, on-the-job training, all the different ways that we can build development work streams to build the marketeers in our care. And the reason why I talk about being successful, because you can give them, your marketeers in your care, all of the technical skills. They can feel empowered in their jobs, but the fulfillment still won't happen if they're not doing things that get them closer to their goals and closer to their values. So we really want to make sure that we are taking the time and putting energy into developing not only your personal understanding, but also their personal understanding, because that's where fulfillment lies. We want to be able to know and own and allow them to own who they are and what they bring to this world. To own that and know that that is their strength, their superpower. For them to have self-awareness of what they are like to be around, but also for you to be able to understand how that as a collaboration happens within your team or within cross-functional teams. To know what drives and motivates them. to really make sure that they have the clarity on their values and purpose, but also the clarity on their own soul goals, whether that's inside of work or outside of work, and the support that you can give them in order to getting closer to those. And it all you. As said right at the beginning of the webinar, in order to build successful and fulfilled teams, the fulfillment comes from that personal understanding, and we can only help others in the extent in which we know ourselves. And that starts with defining your own personal goals and values and self-awareness before you can help others define their values, goals, and purpose. And when you know what they need to be fulfilled, then we will have motivated and empowered teams. But having that clarity is only half the journey. The next is what comes up, our limiting beliefs, or the limiting beliefs of those in your team. If I think about the businesses and teams that I've led, it's not often the lack of clarity about what they need to do. It's the limiting belief that comes up about doing it, something that's holding them back, something that's preventing them from achieving their goal or actually actioning that work stream. Maybe they don't think they're good at numbers. Maybe they don't think that they have the confidence in order to bring that to life. So being able to face into those limiting beliefs together and reframe that together. The next is the ability to adopt a growth mindset. So moving from I can't do that to I can't do that yet, and really making sure that we are focused on building our skills and knowing that skills we have today isn't limited to what we can learn tomorrow. We also need to take daily action to move towards our goals, and for the individuals in your care to also move towards their goals so that they can see progress and gain that fulfillment, but also know that they can ask for help and the different help that's available to them, whether that's a coach, a mentor, a trainer, a work peer, a buddy, somebody else who's got a skill, or someone who's done something that they need to do to give them advice. So my question to you is, are you whole yourself? Are you committed to leading whole marketers? But are you also committed to creating a wave of whole marketers? Because if we are building this into the way in which we develop our marketeers moving forward, they'll go on to build and develop marketeers holistically in the future. So are you ready to take those risks?